All right, House of Payne fans. Wait, Jeremy's doing the House of Payne video? Yeah, I know, right? It's been a while, mainly because I have no idea when we are getting season 10, considering that we do have confirmation from Mr. Brown himself that Assisted Living season 2 has already been filmed, and I had no clue about it until he talked about it in a recent interview. I think it is somewhat safe to assume that House of Payne has also been filmed for season 10. Once again, I have no solid confirmation on that, but it definitely seems like with the Tyler Perry machine working as fast as possible, the conveyor belt that has one show after another, I think it's somewhat safe to assume House of Payne season 10 has been filmed. However, there weren't any kind of like social media posts or anything that, caught my attention. So, I just wanted to ask the question of, do you think Jasmine is going to be in season 10? This is, kind of going back to 2020 when China Ann McClain did a video on her social media. I think it was like her Instagram, pretty much explaining how she's really stepping away from the industry. She didn't really go in specifics about it, but she did just give us kind of the top layer of, following God's calling for her life, and it wasn't in the industry. It's more like she's going to focus more on her own production company and whatnot. So also, I did watch Black Light. I know I don't talk about it a lot on this channel, and you all know, well, if you've been a long time viewer on the channel, then there was a brief period of time, and if you do some digging in the channel, like if you go to the home page of my YouTube channel, go to the search bar and just type in like Flash or Black Lightning, you might come across a small handful of CW Arrowverse related content, but those videos just kept getting flagged for copyright despite the fact I wasn't even using clips. I mean, I was using, maybe screenshots, but sometimes there were situations where I was simply using photos of a character like, the Flash from the Justice League cartoon, or, Black Lightning from another source of media, and they would still get flagged by the CW anyway. So I'm like, you know what, bump it. I ain't going to talk about it. But I do watch the shows. I have watched every episode of Black Lightning this season. It is the final season, season 4, I believe. And sadly, the CW, for whatever reason, just is not promoting it at all. No clips, no trailers. I'm like, well, damn. But it is a very good season. I definitely think this is one of the strongest season beginnings for the series so far. I've loved every episode. Hell, in episode 4 that came on last night, what's his name? Is it Reggie Hayes? The actor who portrayed William in Girlfriends, he was actually portraying the mayor of Freeland. I'm like, wait a minute. But based off what happened on the ending of the episode, if you don't want spoilers, oh well, just to kind of give you a spoiler warning here, something happens to Jennifer in the final moments of episode 4, which explains why her character of Lightning / Jennifer won't be in a majority of the season, because China Ann McClain did confirm she wouldn't be in a majority of the episodes for Black Lightning season 4, considering she's been in every single episode of the show up until this point, which kind of reminds me of how she has a recurring role in, had a recurring role in House of Payne season 9, where she wasn't in every episode. She would just appear sporadically throughout the season. So the reason I'm doing this video is kind of, just asking the question, do you think Jasmine will be in season 10? And like I said before, I'm going to assume season 10 has already been filmed. However, nobody's really been posting about it online. I don't know if, I really can't tell you why that's a thing. I get that every set of actors for these shows have their own vibes, if you will. Like, some of them are very active on social media, some of them are not. I mean, Sister season 3, they've already filmed that. It's already in the books. It's done. And I didn't see a ton of behind the scenes stuff, but I did see a lot of the actors posting, I just landed, finishing up quarantine, I'm getting my hair done for set, all that kind of stuff. But for House of Payne and Assisted Living, which I'm going to assume was filmed maybe in December or sometime in January, I didn't see a scrap of, filming about that. But more to the point of this video, given what happened in the final scene of the season 9 finale, something bad happened to CJ. It just wouldn't make a lot of sense to me if Jasmine isn't around for that. I mean, I'm really interested to see what direction the show's going to go in season 10, because I don't want to, if you want me to rag on season 9, I got an entire playlist of House of Payne videos. So you all know I wasn't the biggest fan of the season. And I really do hope that, considering the show is, well, more than likely coming back for another season, I hope that Tyler looked at the critiques, criticisms, and, well, constructive criticism, because a lot of people who, gave the show flack had a lot of, right to do so, from the just ridiculous dialogue, people talking in circles, not really, well, dragging out episodes. It just made no sense. So I figured that Jasmine being in season 10 makes sense, but it really depends on where China's headspace is right now. She's just going to focus more on, her, own company, as opposed to working for any other producers and whatnot. But given how Tyler Perry's schedule is in regards to how he, shoots around, I don't know the man. I've never talked to him, but just kind of based off the actors I've spoken with and things like that, and just from what I've seen, it definitely seems like Tyler Perry works with a person's schedule. Like, if they're only free for like 3 to 4 days, well, of course, I really don't know how that fits into the COVID time bubble, in regards to a person getting tested, traveling, quarantine, all that stuff. But basically, I'm pretty sure of like China's like, hey, I'm available for like 4 days. Tyler's like, fine, we can wrap it up in 2. So, hey, I want to film this, and this, because you'll be in these episodes, and then you're free to go. I don't really know China and McClain either, but I just feel like it wouldn't surprise me if she still has, time to work for Tyler Perry, because Jasmine is, well, to be honest, the fan favorite on House of Payne, and it's a shame if she would just be missing in season 10, considering, well, something just happened to her father in the show. So I think that if something happened to Jasmine and she's not around, that's really going to raise a lot of eyebrows. It's kind of like, it just wouldn't make any sense. So I do feel like Jasmine will be in season 10, but like I said before, it really depends on if China and McClain will be working, at Tyler Perry Studios. But I feel like she would. But like I said, I really don't know these people one-on-one, but I would hope she is. But you could also make the argument, well, Jeremy, when you think about it, given the fact that Caleb was written off the show because his actor confirmed that, the episode where he ran away from Curtis was his final appearance in that season. That's not, you could argue that doesn't necessarily mean he's gone for good. He could probably come back in a future season, but I just feel like if they did his character right, then yeah, bring Caleb back. What was Jasmine's storyline in season 9 aside from Caleb? Not that much. I mean, and I'm not saying Jasmine wasn't given a lot to work with. I just feel like Caleb was actually given a lot of potential, but it was just squandered for the sake of cheap comedy, and he was just ran off of the show, which is a shame, because there were so many things the Caleb story arc could have done for Jasmine. What's it like, being a role model to, other girls who look up to you, dealing with peer pressure from those in your age group who are already having sex and doing drugs? What about your mom being a former junkie? Also, the fact that your older brother got somebody knocked up. So wouldn't that put some kind of, potential fear in you? It's just like, well, yeah, my brother, he had sex with a stripper and now he's got a baby on the way. Now, what if I have sex and I get knocked up or something like that because he, the guy didn't use protection, even if we agreed to it? There are just so many angles that they could have done with the Jasmine character, but I really just hope that next season they do a better job of handling the writing and the pacing to really put some meat on the bones of this show. Even if Jasmine isn't around, the show could work. Hey, please don't fly off on me, but I'm not saying Jasmine isn't an essential part of the success of House of Payne. I'm just saying that if the other characters were written correctly, like they were back in the old days, then the show could definitely survive if Jasmine only made a couple of appearances here and there. But I just feel like the Malik storyline, And then the whole Curtis and Ella thing, it's just well, especially the Curtis and Ella thing, is really played out. Miranda was just, I'll record a separate video on that, but I think that Jasmine should definitely be in season 10 if it's for no other reason than a couple of episodes. Like if she appeared for like the beginning of the season, kind of like in the Paynes where CJ and family were there and Calvin were for the first few episodes and then they left. Okay, I'm fine with that because we can at least see Jasmine being around after the CJ's accident, because I don't know how you would explain that away. I mean, from a real world perspective, yeah, China says she's stepping away from the industry, so be it. But you would have to explain why Jasmine isn't there, especially after last season where there were some ups and downs in their relationship based off the Caleb dynamic. So with that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I didn't mean for this video to be as long as it is, but I really wanted to just talk perspective on the Black Lightning angle because, yeah, Jennifer, something happened to her, which is a power she has in the comics. But again, I don't want to spoil it for any Black Lightning fans out there. So I could definitely see her being brought back later on in the season. But based off what happened in the end of the episode, it explains, why she's going to be gone for a while. But I don't know how they would write her away in House of Payne. I mean, one time they said her and Janine went to go see Janine's parents for a little while, and that was it. And we still don't even know if she lives on campus or if she lives at home and just goes to school, during the week. We don't know. So, yeah, it beats me. But thanks so much for tuning in as always, guys. Please go ahead and like this video, hit subscribe, click the bell notification icon, and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post new content to the channel. Also, follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. And if you would like to donate, feel free to do so on PayPal, Cash App, or join Patreon for as little as $1 a month.